Okay, the last thing that we're going to work on right now for diagramming is diagramming appositives and nouns of direct address. So let's review what appositives are. So an appositive from your book says a word that follows a noun and explains or identifies it. So John, comma, my friend, or John, captain, comma. So things like that. Follows a noun, explains or identifies it. So there's several different types of appositives, and you'll see some of these in your examples. So there can be just a singular word. It could be compound. It could be just one word. That's kind of what singular is. Or it could be in a phrase with a lot of modifiers. For this exercise, if you'll look at the screen right now, it says, Herod, the king of Judea, sought Jesus. And so in this example, it's going to be Herod, and the appositive will be in parentheses. Sought who? Jesus. So notice that the appositive here is the whole phrase, the king of Judea. But if we're identifying just the noun, it would be king, and that's what you put in parentheses. Compound appositives, remember we have singular, we have compound. Words in a phrase, words or a phrase. And sometimes when they're non-essential, they're set off by commas. More often than not, you'll see them set off by commas, but every once in a while that won't be. If it looks like it's saying two names or two, it's almost like the predicate nominative is right after it, then it's probably a essential part that you need. So anyway, compound appositives. The twins, comma, Jake and Mike, comma, made the team. So notice that this is kind of interesting looking. This whole diamond is enclosed with these little sets of parentheses. Twins made the what? The team. What twins? Jake and Mike. Okay, now a positive can either be with an action verb or with a linking verb. It doesn't matter. It's not the same category as direct objects and other complements. This is just extra information thrown in, and you can throw extra information in anywhere. So here's an example of a sentence that has a linking verb. This is Kyle. The subject is this is, and then the predicate nominative is Kyle. And the appositive of that is neighbor. So that one might be a little tricky, but that's why they showed you an example of it. Okay, and then the other one is the noun of direct address. When you're directly speaking or addressing someone. You'd say, Alex, have you met my neighbor Tim? So the noun of direct address goes, it kind of floats in the air above it. Alex is way up here. Alex, you, notice the verb phrase is split by the subject, have met, and you see this split a lot of times when you have questions or interrogative sentences. You have met who? My neighbor. Which neighbor? And we have Tim here, which is in a positive. So we have a positive and a noun of direct address all in this one diagram. So notice this diagram has a lot going on. Even though it looks pretty simple, it doesn't have any of the diamonds or the houses, but direct addresses are up high. So let's look at some of these examples. Boston, a large city in Massachusetts, was a center of colonial life. So let's analyze the subject and the verb. What is the subject? Boston, yes. Boston, and we have a linking verb. First, we should check out the instructions. So, on a separate sheet of paper, diagram the following sentences. It doesn't tell you diagram certain things, so that means the whole sentence. Next part. You may omit one-word modifiers and prepositional phrases. All right, so Boston was what? Boston was, this is a linking verb, so I know I'm going to have a P in here. It was the center of colonial life is a prepositional phrase. My instructions say that I could skip them, so I'm going to. Now, I need to edit this because I did not include my appositive. So I need to make a little space here. I'm going to write a little smaller. Boston. And now I have an appositive that's a whole phrase, a large city in Massachusetts. So I'm going to put in Massachusetts in parentheses, A and large are modifying city, so city is my noun, city is actually a positive. So city goes in parentheses, C-I-T-Y. So now I have my subject, my linking verb, my predicate nominative, and my appositive, AP, all right here. And that, my friends, is how you do this. So I would like you to see, let's see how many there are. There's 10 on here. Let's do 5 of these. So 5 of these to show mastery of all the different types of this. You may need to go back to some of the other diagrams because remember this one uses all of them together. So if they're there, don't do the prepositional phrases, but diagram subjects, verbs, predicate nouns, predicate nominatives, indirect objects, direct objects, appositives, nouns of direct address. All of those need to be done in here.